You have good and bad, you have rich and poor, you have, I don't know, salt and pepper, right? You have left and right dualities. The eccentric, the eccentric is deceptively important for a lot of people. That is the follow through. The eccentric is the follow through. What do you do after the lift, right? How do you follow up? How do you stabilize? How do you maintain that, right? How do you keep it healthy? Hey everyone, this is Mark Johnson, your fitness ambassador from Bounce Pep, the youngest son of Bill Johnson. I am back with you again this week. This week I'm going to have a message for you that I have not shared before. So this is going to be a new message for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. The question that we are going to ask is, have you been ignoring or have you been underappreciating the eccentric? So first of all, to all my subscribers, thank you very much. If you have not subscribed, thank you very much anyway for lending me your eyeballs and your attention. I do appreciate it. I hope that you subscribe. I really hope that you hit the like button, and please share this video with anyone that you believe would be helped by it. So the question that we're going to ask today is, have you been ignoring the eccentric? So all of you lifters out there, you know that when you perform a repetition, let's just say it's something simple like a barbell curl, you're going to have a concentric phase, which is the lift. You're going to have an isometric phase, which is kind of that pause or that time under tension. And then you're going to have the last phase, which is the eccentric phase, where you lower the weight back down, right, in a controlled fashion. So we're going to set aside the isometric phase because that's not really what this talk is about. It's more about the concentric and especially the eccentric. We're talking about the eccentric here. Are you ignoring the eccentric? When you go to the gym, you probably see people, you'll see guys doing, or even, ladies sometimes, they're doing the dumbbell curls and they're kind of rushing through it because they're really focused on that concentric like there's no tomorrow, but they're not paying attention to what they're doing during the eccentric phase of the repetition, okay? And they underappreciate how important that is. So we're going to talk about the eccentric today because, of course, the concentric is simply lifting the weight against resistance or against gravity, basically trying to move that dead weight. But the eccentric is the second part of that repetition, and that is where you have to stabilize, control the weight on the way back down, and make sure that you don't hurt yourself, prevent injuries. This follow-up portion of the repetition is extremely important, and it's really, really underappreciated. And that's why you see people, rushing through their reps. So I want you to understand that the eccentric, life is all about dualities. You have good and bad, you have rich and poor, you have, salt and pepper, right? You have left and right dualities. So eccentric and concentric, it's a duality. Don't ignore the importance of the eccentric. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this is such a powerful concept. It's because it's not only working for you in the gym. If you understand the importance of the eccentric, then you understand how to apply that concept of the eccentric to other parts of your life so that you can really, really take yourself to that next level. Let me give you a simple example. Let's just say, for example, that you're in business. I don't care what kind of business it is, but you're in business. Anytime you're in business, you have got to make sales. I don't care what kind of business it is, you've got to make sales, right? Well, think of the sale as the concentric phase of your lift, right? Or basically, it's the lift itself. So it's the concentric contraction during that repetition, right? And so, you're lifting to make that sale, and then you finally get the sale, right? You finally get the sale. So you got the sale, you got the customer, great, good job. But guess what? After that, there's what you call follow through. The follow through is the eccentric phase of that customer relationship. See, all you did was you got through the concentric phase, which is making the sale. That's all fine and dandy, but understand that the total customer relationship is actually much bigger than simply the initial sale. The follow through, the eccentric phase, you need to pay attention to that, right? Because that the eccentric phase, right? It's the thank you. It's the please come back again. It's the after service, right? It's the maintenance of that customer relationship. It's the completion of that repetition basically with the idea being that the customer is going to come back again for more of the same in the future, or maybe even something bigger and better, a bigger and better product or a bigger and better service, whatever it is, right? And so you're going to be able to form another repetition in the future. But if you don't appreciate the importance of the eccentric phase of that customer relationship, and you don't care about after service, you don't care about saying thank you at the cash register, you don't care about, good maintenance, you don't care about any of that, all you're worried about is just making a sale, and you're kind of this fly-by-night operator, then guess what? You're not going to get a chance to perform another rep like you do in the gym. You're not going to complete the repetition. You're not going to complete the eccentric phase so that you can then do another lift, right? So this is how it relates to you in your life. You have to understand the importance of the eccentric. In the gym, if you know anything about eccentric contractions, you know that actually you can handle more weight during the eccentric phase of a rep than you can during the concentric phase. You can actually handle more weight then. So remember, right? Before the sale, okay, that's the concentric phase. You're just trying to make that lift, okay? The eccentric phase is where you got more responsibility then, because now you've made the sale, right? Now you've got to make that customer, you got to keep that customer happy. You can't afford to have, if you rush through that eccentric phase, what happens? In the gym, you get an injury, right? You can always get an injury. Same thing if you got a business, you're making sales and you get a customer. If you rush through that eccentric phase, which is the follow-through phase of the relationship, then you can get an injury in the form of a dissatisfied customer, and that's going to lead to an injury to you in the form of lost business, lost revenue, right? So you don't want injuries. Just like at the gym, you don't want injuries because you're ignoring the importance of that eccentric phase of the movement. Same thing for your business. Now, you can take this further to relationships. It works the same way, right? You know how the people, before they get married, like the pre-wedding stage, that's kind of the concentric phase of the relationship. That's the lifting phase. Everybody's really focused on the whining and dining and the courtship and the romance and this and that and the third and the flowers and everything like that. And then they get married, and you notice that it seems like half of the people that get married today can't stay married for more than a couple of years. And that's because they poured so much attention and so much care into the concentric lift, and they ignore the follow through, the eccentric phase of the relationship after the wedding is finished. And now you're married to this person and you have to live with them and build a life and build a family together. Well, see, they haven't devoted the same attention and care to the eccentric phase of the relationship, which is the follow through. Okay, so that's why you have these interpersonal relationship problems, right? People fall in love, everything is great, but then later on, things don't really work out well because they're really, really not great at managing the eccentric phase of the relationship, the follow through. So I want you to take this idea with you today, okay? I'm signing off. Take care. Talk to you next week.